took me forever. Wait a minute. This is weird. I am at the church. The river dropped me off at the baptistry. How in the world did I get to the baptistry? How are they connected? I thought I was in the jungle. I want to be in the jungle. Oh. Because in the jungle there are rules. You know, anybody ever been to a jungle? Right, there are rules because you have to follow the rules of the land wherever the jungle is. If it's in Africa, you have to follow the rules over there. If it's in the United States, you got to go. The rules make it easy. Because you know you can't mess with the animals in a jungle. You know you can't go hunting in the jungle. You know that some of the animals know where their place is. Kind of like the food chain that we learn about. You know the rules. How did I get here? I'm in a concrete jungle today. Well, since I'm here, might as well go explore. Let's see what we can find in the concrete jungle. Whew! Made it to the tree house. You ever been to the tree house before? This is kind of my first or second time in here. It's pretty cool. Tree house, you get to make your own rules, right? You know, when you have a clubhouse or a tree house and you put up no boys allowed or no girls allowed, and you know, we used to find a place where we would trade baseball cards and stuff like that. Anybody ever do baseball cards? Yeah? Pokemon card, whatever the cool thing is, we'll sit and trade them. And the rules were, I was trying to get my favorite players. Or, as I got older, I tried to get players or cards that were worth what I thought were more, or what I thought would go up in value. That was the rules. Baseball. Unwritten rules. Anybody ever seen the unwritten rules of baseball? Like, no showboating. You hit a home run, you run to first. Players nowadays, they're bat flipping and cheering and yelling and dancing all the way around the bases.
The 1-1 for Tyson. Batista with a drive. Deep left field. No doubt about it. You can only flirt with fire for so long, and it's going to burn you. No doubt about it.
That didn't happen when I was a kid. I'm getting old. Or you show up a pitcher, the next guy, they're plunking you right in the side. They don't want to hurt you, but they do want to hit you. The jungle has rules. Some written, some unwritten. Some you know, some you figure out. Rules. Huh. I wonder where else we can find now that I've had a break in our concrete jungle. What is this? Never been in here. Concrete jungle. Man, the underbelly of the church. The places that we don't normally see. We got old Christmas trees that nobody wants. We got boxes full of, stuff. We got old panels that haven't been used since 1934. Oh my goodness, but we do have a you have a chair where I can rest. This journey has been tough. Rules. I've been thinking about rules, you know? Rules. They were made to keep us safe, right? Rules of the jungle. They keep people safe. They keep animals safe. They keep the plants safe. They keep us safe when we go. My rules in baseball, they're designed to teach you how to play. Thinking about it, the Bible has some rules for us. How many of you like rules? When I was your age, I hated rules. My boys, they hate rules. They hate having to follow the rules. The Bible. Some people think those rules are unfair. Some people think that they're there to keep us from living the way we want to. I wonder what story we're going to read today that helps us learn about rules. I don't know. Let's go find out. So today, we're going to talk about one man who did not understand the importance of following God's rules. So the rules kind of started way back in Exodus, right? With the 10 Commandments. How many of you have ever heard of the 10 Commandments? Yeah? And so the 10 Commandments were given to Moses to help them know how to live and really to help them stay safe, right? Not safe from getting hurt but safe in God's world, right? Now, the 10 Commandments are still rules that we need to follow. We need to love God above everybody. We need to not kill people. We need to not do the things that they ask us to do. But Jesus changed some of the rules, and that's okay in the Old Testament. But today we're going to look at a guy who did not know the importance of following the rules. And actually, he was a king. He was God's appointed king for Israel. He was the first king of Israel. He was the king of Israel. And we're going to pick up our story today in 1 Samuel chapter 15. Samuel said to Saul, "I am the one the Lord sent to anoint you." That means that he was the one that God sent to help him and help the other people know that God had picked him to be king. "I am the one who the Lord sent to anoint you king over Israel. So listen now to the message that the Lord has to tell you. This is the Lord Almighty. And he says, I will punish the Amaleks for what they did to Israel. Go and attack them and totally destroy everything that belongs to them. Do not spare anything. Put to death all the cattle and the sheep and the camel and the donkeys." So everything. God's telling them, we're going to take out this land. Now, I don't understand why God used war to do things in the Old Testament, but he did. And he's telling them, take out the entire land, burn it down to the ground. All of it. Don't keep any of it. So Saul summoned the men, 200,000 soldiers, and 10,000 men from Judah. And Saul went to the city, set to ambush them in the ravine. So Saul was doing exactly what God told him to, right? He was going, and Saul attacked them to the east of Egypt, and all of the people were destroyed. But Saul and the army spared Agag and the best sheep and cattle and calves and lambs and everything that was good. These they were unwilling to destroy completely. but everything that was despised and weak was totally destroyed. So did Saul follow the rules? He did not. He kept some of the things. See, God told him, get rid of it all. I don't want any remnant of this ever to stay. I don't want anybody to know, be able to go back and go, that's from the Abimelechs. Huh. Then the word of the Lord came to Samuel. I am grieved that I have made Saul king, because he has turned away from me and not carried out my instructions. Samuel was troubled, and he cried out to the Lord all night. So he was praying all night. Early in the morning, Samuel got up and went to meet Saul. But he was told Saul had gone to Carmel. There, he had set up a monument in his own honor. Oh no. He has set up a monument in his own honor. Do you think that made God happy? Was he following the rules that God set out for him? Nope. When Samuel reached him, Saul said, the Lord bless you. I have carried out the Lord's instruction. But Samuel said, what then is this bleating of sheep in my ears? What is the lowing of cattle that I hear? So he was hearing the animals. Saul answers, the soldiers brought them back. They spared the best to be sacrificed to your God, but we totally destroyed the rest. Stop, Samuel said to Saul. Let me tell you what the Lord has said to me last night. Tell me, Saul replied. See, Saul's lying to Samuel, and he knows it, and he's about to get caught. Samuel said, although you were once small in your own eyes, did you not become the head of the tribes of Israel? The Lord anointed you king over Israel and sent you on a message saying, go and completely destroy the land. Do not stop until you have wiped them out. Why did you not obey the Lord? Why did you keep the plunder? Which means some of the things that they were keeping, cattle, gold. They may have kept gold. You never know what all they kept. But I did obey the Lord, Saul said. I went on the mission, and I completely destroyed them and brought back Agag and their king. The soldiers took the sheep and the cattle from the plunder, the best of what was devoted to God. But Samuel replied, does the Lord delight in burnt offerings as much as obeying the voice of God? To obey is better than sacrifice, and to heed is better than the fat of rams. Because you have rejected the word of the Lord, he has rejected you as king. Wow. So Saul went from being the king, the person that everybody looked to being rejected by God. And if a king appointed and anointed by God can do that, what about you and me? See, God gave Saul specific rules. The rules were to be obeyed. Do you have rules you have to follow? Maybe at school, as we're finishing up our last week. Maybe at home, rules that you have to follow. Carter just started driving, and he has rules that he has to follow. He can't speed. He can't use his phone while he's driving. He can't come in after we tell him to be home. He has rules he has to follow. See, God has rules for us too. Not because he wants to keep us from something, but because he wants us to have our best life. See, God has the best for you and me. He has a purpose for you. He has a purpose for me. And when we follow his rules, one, when we start by believing in him, 2, when we get baptized, because that's the first thing he does to ask us to obey. That doesn't save us. Our belief in God, our belief that Jesus is real, our belief that Jesus forgives us of all the times we mess up is what saves us, puts us with God forever. But he does ask us to obey. And there are things he wants us to obey. Some of the 10 Commandments. He doesn't want us to steal. He doesn't want us to murder. He doesn't want us to have other gods before us. But he also changed the rules when Jesus came, and they want us to treat other people well. They want us to love other people. See, God has rules for you and me. And when we obey them, he's keeping us safe, and he's helping us lead our best life. So this week, think about how you can lead a godly life by following God's rules. Love other people. Help other people. Serve other people. Give to other people. Give to God. Give to the church. There are lots of ways that you and I can live our best life now. Can you do that? That's our challenge to you this week. I want you to know that I love you guys, but I am going to find me a creek because I got to get out of this place. I got to pop up somewhere else. Let's go find a creek. All right, guys, I found the beginning of the creek right there. Looks a little grosser than last time, but we're going to dive in and see where we go. Let's go!